Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Will from McKinnon Media coming at you with a video on how to use Adobe Lightroom. So I'm just going to get right into it here, open her up. For those of you who do not know, maybe you stumbled across this video while you were aimlessly surfing the internet, Lightroom has two main purposes. It is used for cataloging or basically sorting images, or basic to intermediate editing, with more of the advanced stuff done in Photoshop, which I will explain in a future tutorial. So to begin with, I'm just going to guide you through the library or the cataloging system. Sorry, excuse my name, I'm using somebody else's account. So if you'll notice up here, it has a bunch of nice, neat menus right there, but library is what I'm going to start off with. So this is where you store all your images, this is where they're all kept. So basically, if you want to add images to Lightroom, you'll click Import, and then you can move stuff. So if you were to plug in like a USB or something, I have my external hard drive here hooked up, you can choose images, such as these, and then you can click Import, which I've already done, and they will automatically get added to you have to choose a folder, and they'll automatically get sorted by date. So all of these here, I haven't done anything to these. I've literally just hit import and boom, Lightroom does all the magic for you. So that's basically all there is to it. It automatically sorts the folders by how they're arranged. So I have all my stuff on my external hard drive here. Look, 2015, boom. 2016, boom. There's like I take a lot of pictures of my dog. There's like all this beautiful stuff here, except this is from when I was just starting photography, so this is all kind of ugly. But yeah, so sorry, excuse me. I have back. Remind me tomorrow. Yeah, so that's basically all there is. You can do some extra sorting options by like starring files and stuff, but this is just a basic rundown. I'm not really going to get into all that today. So we're going to move on to the develop section now, which is where you edit your photos. So you'll notice on the left there are some presets, and presets are really neat because they allow you to instantly apply to look to a photo. So like, let's say I want this black and white blue filter. Boom, instant black and white blue filter. Now, so for those of you who maybe they like more customization, or they like to actually make specific changes to an image, there are a bunch of really cool tools here, and they allow you to do, well, what you want to do. So right here, the temp, that basically controls the white balance. There are some auto white balance things, so like depending on the type of day or whatever. Personally, I like to change it myself more. You can see, like, you can get kind of funky with that, but typically people just leave it as shot. It just works out that way. And if you see like a green or a purple tint, you can counter that by adjusting the tint. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So over here in the tone section, this is all pretty self-explanatory. You can adjust the image exposure, make it darker, lighter, all that jazz. You can also add or remove contrast, which basically means that it makes your darks darker and your lights lighter. As you can kind of tell, if you flatten it out, it's a very flat image, but if you drag it to the opposite side, boom. You can also change your highlights to darken up those skies, and shadows to bring out detail in the shadows. Whites and blacks, again, pretty self-explanatory. You can darken or lighten your whites, you can darken or lighten your blacks. It's pretty self-explanatory. Clarity is basically, it's like, some people prefer it over sharpening because it adjusts the contrast in your midtones. So boom, yeah, it's basically the contrast in your midtones, as I said earlier. Vibrance and saturation change how vibrant an image is, how intense the colors are, as you can see. The tone curve, a lot of people use this, but you kind of need to know how to use it. And that, I could spend many videos working on this tone curve alone. So just for the purpose of keeping this short, sweet, and to the point, I'll deal with that in a future video. So then you come down to your HSL sliders, and these are pretty cool. they basically allow you to adjust individual colors. So I don't know if you see right here, there's a bit of red there. I can adjust the saturation of the red, which, as I said earlier, changes how vibrant a color is. Boom, look at that. Or I can do the opposite and then bring out the crazy stuff. So like this all, like, it's basically like I said for like adjusting specific colors of an image. Luminance makes the image appear brighter or darker. So look at that same red part, bright, dark, boom. Hue, you can basically, if you look at the color wheel, you can adjust the colors in the image to focus on the parts on the opposite ends of the specific color, which I know I suck at talking, but so for red, I'll just show you. Look at that piece again. You can bring it to the orange side, which isn't really shown very well, or to the pink side. So that's kind of cool. Personally, I kind of stay away from hue, unless if I really want to achieve a specific look. And then split toning is kind of neat. This is what I really like to do. You can add specific colors to your highlights and your shadows to get a desired effect. So basically, like, I'll choose, just for the purpose of demonstration, shadows green, highlights orangey yellow, and then you can adjust how vibrant you want that. Most people like to go for a nice subtle look. Like, I just chose yellow and green because it gives kind of like almost like a cinematic movie look, which I kind of like. But yeah, basically it's one of those things where you basically need another video for it. But just for the purposes of this, I'll just briefly describe it. Detail, that gets into sharpening and stuff. So sharpening is basically in the name. It just, if you want your image to look sharper, boost the sharpening. If you can't really unsharpen things because who would want that? But the only problem with sharpening, just to keep in mind, is it can make images look like this, and this is the most obviously sharpened thing ever. Like, look at that, absolute trash. Noise reduction, that just eliminates noise, pretty self-explanatory. Lens corrections, basically lenses that you use. Like the lens I used for this shot was more of a wide angle, so it almost looked like a fisheye. But when I hook up the lens corrections, which for whatever reason isn't appearing here, but that will remove that and make it look like a normal picture. Transforming is kind of cool. It's more for like perspective stuff. So like if you shot like a building, it's more for like shooting architecture, to give it more of a like a direct view, if that makes sense. You can also dehaze images. So if there's like fog or something, there's not really anything here, so like it kind of just makes it look ugly and weird. You can also add green if you wish. This is more of a stylistic thing if you want to make it look old, maybe. Yeah, and then camera calibration. I don't really touch this personally. If you want to learn more about it, check out another video. Yeah, but more into the effects here. This is something I really love, and I admittedly overuse, called a vignette. And a vignette basically makes it basically makes the borders of your image dark. So, perfect example right there. I like it because it adds focus to the middle. Yeah, so it's kind of nice like that. Other than that, the rest of the stuff here is just kind of extra stuff, like for prints, or like it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to explain that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and go ham on Lightroom.